If you like this video, please hit the red subscribe button. Krakatoa was a small island. It sat in the Sunda Strait, a busy shipping lane. This strait separates the large Indonesian islands of Java and Sumatra. Java, Sumatra. For 2 centuries, the volcano on this island had been quiet. People sailed past it every day. They saw a green, peaceful place. It was covered in lush tropical forest. No one suspected the immense power building deep beneath the waves. The Earth's great tectonic plates were in constant grinding motion here. Indo-Australian plate, Eurasian plate. This process created immense heat and pressure. Magma was slowly accumulating in a vast chamber beneath the island. The chamber was becoming dangerously full and unstable. The silence was broken in May of 1883. Small tremors began to shake the region. Then, on May 20th, the German warship Elizabeth sailed past the island. Its captain reported a massive cloud of ash and steam. The ash column rose nearly 7 miles into the sky. The final terrible phase began on the afternoon of Sunday, August 26, 1883. The rumbles grew into a continuous deafening roar. By 1 o'clock, a black cloud of ash had shot 17 miles into the atmosphere. The sky turned dark as night over the Sunda Strait. Explosions occurred every 10 minutes, each one more violent than the last. The pressure inside the magma chamber was reaching its breaking point. The captain of the nearby ship, Charles Ball, described the scene as terrifying. Lightning crackled within the dense ash cloud. Pyroclastic flows, fiery balls of hot gas and rock, began to race across the surface of the sea, a phenomenon never before witnessed by modern man. The world was witnessing the prelude to an unimaginable release of planetary energy. The climax arrived on the morning of Monday, August 27, 5:30, the first of 4 colossal explosions, 6:44, an even larger blast, 9:20, another massive blast, 10:02, the 4th and final explosion. This was the sound that echoed around the globe. The loudest sound ever recorded in human history. The volcano collapsed in on itself. The collapse of the volcano into the sea did more than just create a deafening sound. It displaced a colossal amount of water. This generated a series of gigantic waves, a tsunami of a scale rarely seen. These were not ordinary waves, mountains of water, some over 120 feet high. They raced with terrifying speed across the Sunda Strait. The first wave struck Java and Sumatra within 30 minutes of the largest explosions. If you like this video, please hit the red subscribe button. They crashed ashore without warning. A relentless wall of water. Coastal towns and villages were erased in minutes. Merak on Java was completely submerged. A wave reported at 135 feet swept over the town. The Dutch warship Bhola was anchored there. It was lifted and carried nearly 2 miles inland. It was deposited in a forest 30 feet above sea level. Anger, a busy port, was utterly destroyed. Survivors recalled a roaring sound and a black wall of water. The wall carried away trees, it carried away houses, it carried away animals. It carried away people. The human cost was staggering. The Dutch colonial death toll, 36,417 people. Entire village populations were wiped out. The tsunami caused about 90% of the deaths. The impact of Krakatoa's eruption was not confined to Indonesia. It was honestly a truly global event, and its most widespread effect was on the Earth's climate. The colossal explosion at 10:02 in the morning had injected an immense amount of sulfur dioxide gas and fine volcanic ash high into the stratosphere. Once in the stratosphere, these tiny particles, called aerosols, are not easily washed out by rain. They spread slowly around the entire planet, carried by high-altitude winds. Within 2 weeks, a thin, invisible veil of sulfuric acid droplets had begun to encircle the globe. This stratospheric haze acted like a giant sunshade. The fine particles scattered incoming sunlight, reflecting a portion of it back into space before it could reach and warm the Earth's surface. As a result, global temperatures began to drop. Over the next year, the average temperature in the northern hemisphere fell by as much as 1.2 degrees Celsius. This may not sound like much, but it was a significant and noticeable change. Winters became harsher and summers were cooler and shorter. The cooling effect persisted for about 5 years, until the volcanic aerosols finally settled out of the stratosphere. One of the most spectacular and widely observed effects of the volcanic haze was the dramatic change in the appearance of the sky. The fine particles in the stratosphere scattered the blue and green light of the sun, allowing the red and orange wavelengths to pass through more directly. This resulted in skies that glowed with a brilliant fiery red long after the sun had dipped below the horizon. The phenomenon was so vivid and unusual that it actually caused alarm. The famous painting The Scream by Norwegian artist Edvard Munch is thought by many art historians to depict the blood-red skies he witnessed over Oslo in the years after Krakatoa. The eruption of Krakatoa in 1883 was more than a devastating natural disaster. It was a watershed moment in history and science. Global communication was rapidly advancing. Newly laid submarine telegraph cables sent news of the eruption around the world with unprecedented speed. For the first time, a major natural event was reported in near real time. This ushered in a new global consciousness. The scientific community was galvanized. The eruption became an unplanned, massive experiment. The Royal Society compiled a comprehensive report that helped birth modern volcanology. The event left a lasting biological legacy. Krakatoa was completely sterilized, every trace of life burned away. It became a natural laboratory for studying recolonization. First blades of grass, hardy ferns, insects, birds, reptiles. These observations revealed ecological succession and nature's resilience. Today, a new volcano stands where the mountain once was. Anak Krakatau, the child of Krakatoa. It broke the surface in 1927 and has been growing steadily ever since. Krakatoa's story is a dramatic chapter in Earth's history. Destruction and death, and scientific discovery and the dawn of a global age. It taught us the ground beneath our feet isn't as solid as it seems, and that one island can change the world forever.